The TrueSight Event Manager configuration and integration from Atrium Orchestrator perspective was handled in our prior session. Now it's time to let TrueSight send over events to Atrium Orchestrator with the purpose of triggering the execution of workflows. We build on top of the established configuration. It is recommended that you have a TrueSight expert handy. To give you a quick overview, we have only one major step. This applies to a fresh install. If you have an existing install, you might have to do something more. As the privileged user, the proper propagation rules need to be created. Once this is handled properly, you need to validate the configuration of the infrastructure. We have three basic steps. We need to create a new event selector or modify an existing one. Specify the selection criteria. In this case, our event class in the lab scenario is based on patrol events. Our selection definition is set around the application class NT_services. All other patrol events we really do not want to have on the Atrium Orchestrator side. This means that all patrol events with that application class will be propagated to the gateway cell called BAO in my environment. The next 3 slides show how this is being done in detail. First, we modify or create a new selector. Then we define the selection criteria and the propagation to the cell. Since my event manager cell is called DCA and my gateway cell BAO, I just map these two. Here you see the application class NT services that we selected. Fairly straightforward. Once the events are being pushed to Atrium Orchestrator, we can trigger an Atrium Orchestrator workflow. I'm going to show you how we generate the rules so that this workflow will be triggered. Workflow that is being triggered by a rule must have as a context item the name input event. We will have a look at the sample data to have an understanding what our event will look like. Remember that in Gateway IAM.com we configured a pseudo slot called TrueSight event type. This could have the value new or modified. Based on this sample data, we want to further qualify which path we take inside the workflow. In the switch statement, we have a evaluation path that looks at the pseudo slot, and the XPath expression evaluates if the content of that is new. To verify the result, we load the sample data and see that the TrueSight event type new resolves to true. So this path would be successful. The second path is evaluating the event, especially the long message, looking into exception no longer exists. If we receive such an event, that means that the patrol agents or anybody else already addressed the issues and we don't need to trigger any subsequent activities. Therefore, we want to eliminate these kind of events. Next, we go to the rules engine and define which workflow we want to associate with that rule. In the selection box in the upper right, you see what kind of workflows you can select from or choose from, and we take the process incoming event. We have 2 criteria that needs to match to true. The first one would be if this is a BEM monitor event, because we can have events coming from SNMP monitor adapter, from the email adapter, the IMAP monitor adapter, for example, the remedy monitor adapter. We need to be very clear which event we are interested in. In addition, we also want to eliminate any events that are coming from the triage and remediation workflows. We don't really care about triage and remediation at this point. We care only about events coming from TrueSight. So making sure that all these events from the triage and remediation solution are being ignored. We negate the logic so that the value is set to true when this value is not present.